Here tonight. Okay, once I get the screen set up, I can look at my cameras above screen here, so bear with me and I'll be with y'all in a second. All right, we are streaming to YouTube, so I'm ready to go. Hey, listen, guys, I got some slides I want to share with you, and we're going to take some questions. So our setup is first 30 minutes is content, second 30 minutes is Q&A. All right, we don't have to do 30 of Q&A, but we are going to limit it to 30 of Q&A. So let's get in for sake of everyone's time. We got a lot of important things to do in life. We don't need to necessarily be sitting in a Zoom, but I'm here to bring value. And so I say, Coach, I got my coach outfit on today. I just don't have a whistle. But hey, listen, here's what it all boils down to. We are teaching what we're preaching what we're doing, and we're teaching what we're preaching, and preaching out in our local market. And I want to share with you some things that you can do to increase your odds of having success, increase your odds of earning a significant income. And that's what this is all about. And for those who want to lead local, that's a different distinction. Some people want to just be part-time brokers and periodically do something. Others want to be part-time leaders, and they actually want to own a marketplace and they want to lead that marketplace. And eventually they'd like that marketplace to turn them into full-time. Step one, arrive 5 minutes early. That's step one of being a local leader, because you'll miss things if you're not, and your team knows you're here or not here. So you want to arrive early. Okay. That's part one of being a leader, is arrive early. Okay. But we're going to be going through a lot of stuff today. I got some screens to share with you. So I'm going to get my screen sharing going on. Bear with me 1 minute. You can ignore that. Let's go right here. Local leader plan. Here we go. This is the one we got. All right. You get to see my slides there, right? All right.
Yep, we see it.
Thank you, buddy. I'm going to stop periodically and just talk. But other times I'm going to be going through slides. So here's the most important thing to begin. As you're talking about monopolizing your marketplace, do y'all know what a monopoly is? It means when you have an unfair advantage and other competition can't come in and take over. And that's what we want to help you do. We want to help you to monopolize your marketplace. It's an unfair advantage where all the other funders wouldn't be able to come in and take your territory. They'd have to have boots on the ground like you, right? But the only way you do that is really being local. If you're trying to build in cities outside of you are competing with other people and you're doing distance building. So local is always going to win because trust is established. I have had 5 funding clients reach out to me in the last week from banks locally, but it took almost 6 weeks to establish that trust. I'll be talking about that, but 5 this week. Relationships convert at higher levels. Referrals grow naturally. Renewals and stage funding happen more often. Brokers become known as funding experts. They become trusted and liked. Follow-up is simple because you're dealing with the same people over and over, and long-term income is established. No question. You can build nationally. You can build distance, but the problem is it's more difficult because you don't have that trust and you're competing with people who are really good at it, right? So national funding is a lane, local funding is a moat. What does that mean? Some of you have heard this. We've talked about some of these slides a couple times, but a moat is what a castle has built around it. And you remember in the cartoons and in real times too, they would build rivers around the castles, and in the cartoons, they'd throw crocodiles in it. And if you wanted to get to the king's castle, you'd have to be able to swim across that river or only go when that bridge was down, right? So there'd be guards on there not letting you cross when the bridge was down. So you can't get across the moat. It's a protection. Warren Buffett says, and he's the wealthiest investor there is. People have made more money than him, but through the stock market, come on. He's become one of the wealthiest men in the world by buying stock, not by starting companies or taking companies public. He's bought companies, right? And so and just rode the stock out. He buys stocks where he says they have a moat around them, a competitive advantage that you can't break into. And then you just buy and hold. He doesn't buy and sell. He buys and holds. And that stock grows 12% a year every year, doubles every 6 years and doubles every 6 years and doubles every 6 years. And before you know it, you've got millions of dollars from buying companies that are a moat. Well, how about creating a company with a moat? How about building your own local agency and have 50 to 100 fundings coming in your team every month in your local county? And you're making $250,000, $500,000 a year in overrides from a moat that you built yourself, instead of having to hopefully buy the right stock or take a company public or So this is what we're doing. You choose to compound your business. The strongest national growth happens by multiplying local markets, not by trying to grow in every state. You grow in every state by opening that market with the local leader. So a local market should produce 2 to 4 fundings per week. Let me slow that down. Should produce 2 to 4 fundings a week. And that includes overrides. So you can start making 2 to 4K a week. Now you got to get that market producing, right? You're going to need you and a few in that town actively working, not just involved. I can get 100 people to join on a list tonight. It's how many are going to be actively involved. That's what we're talking about. You and a few is all you need. So you're going to learn how to effectively lead one market. You're going to duplicate that into as many markets as you'd like. That is the strategy. Now you can buy into this or you can ignore it. Ignoring it, don't come back anymore to these local leaders. Don't read the local leader journey that went out. Many of you are ignoring the local leader journey. We sent it out 10 days in a row. I wrote them all and I've read them all. And I've read them and I've read them and I've read them. And I wrote them because we want to make sure we're using and speaking the same playbook. And the playbook is the email journey you got. And it's the 8-step process that is clicked to on I think it was day 8, that we linked to the 8-step process, right? So have you gone through every journey email and read it? And actually did the homework and actually said, okay, I'm going to do this. That's a Bible. That's $1 million game plan. Other companies would charge you thousands of dollars to buy their proven program. We give it for free. You just got to open the email and read it, right? So let's all step it up a little bit who aren't currently stepping up. Let's all be an example, not just say we want to be. Let's actually be it in private and dark. When you're in your closet, nobody knows what you're doing. Are you still following the local leader plan? When nobody sees you on the huddle, are you not on the huddle because you're busy hustling, or are you just busy just not being into it, right? And so if you're not going to be on the huddle, you better be busy hustling or working somewhere else, right? Or doing something right for your business. Otherwise, you're not replacing that job. And if you're here part-time to replace that job, we got to do the thing, right? So this is just real talk, right? I appreciate every one of you that are here tonight. You're volunteer. You are a volunteer in DAC. I'm speaking as coach tonight of what I'm doing every day, because I want to be an example in my town, but also I want you to win. We started this for you to win, right? So you got to lead by example. Number one, we've talked about these. I'm just going to refresh them again. Become certified, go through the funding training, comp plan training, daily huddles, set and work your plan. Okay. When you do your game plan, work it. You got to work that activity. You got to climb the ladder. You got to get certified, then GA3-5, MGA, SGA, NMO, climb the ladder. You should all be shooting to climb the ladder. I look at Matt and Nick. They got a few more funding apps in this week, right? So that's awesome. They're being an example, climbing a ladder. Why do you want to climb the ladder? Keep in mind, you make more. This guy's making 60%, or this gal here. But keep in mind, when you enroll a team, not only do you make 60% on your own clients, but when you enroll a team, you get the difference between where you are and where they are. You enroll a new broker, they get $100,000 funding. They're making 40%. Let's say they make $3,200. They're pretty happy, aren't they? The person who got 100 grand. I just talked to one of my personal clients. She accepted $100,000 about 2 hours ago. That's awesome. She's ecstatic about that. She's ecstatic about taking that $100,000 funding. She just signed it 3 hours ago, right? I had another client apply yesterday who was declined. They're not eligible for funding. It happens both ways, right? But this client is ecstatic. They're getting 100 grand. The broker happens to be me. I'm ecstatic, but let's just say it's someone you introduced personally. They're making $3,200, but you're the enrollers. You make 4% no matter what. Doesn't matter where you on this ladder, right? So if you're the local leader and you have 3 or 4 people you've personally enrolled, you're making 4% of all their funding on every funding, every single week, every single month, every single year for life. And even after you die, your business goes to your family, just like if you own a McDonald's restaurant. It is a business that wills on to your family. Right? So you're not building a job here. This isn't a part-time gig. This isn't a gig salad. This is where you're out there going, I'm building an industry moving. We just had a group. a life insurance group and a tax prep group. Some of them are probably on today. 6,700 brokers they enrolled into our system today. 6,700 new brokers. Now, how many are going to get certified? I don't know. Maybe 500 to 1,000. I don't know. But the bottom line is word is getting out about DAC, and your timing is now to be a local leader. Now, this is the time to make an impact. Right now, your town needs you now. Someone's going to come into your town. So everybody you personally enroll, you're making 4% on. So you'd make on that 8,000, you make $320. How many, whoever enrolled me would be making $320. Keep yourselves muted, guys. Whoever recruited me would make 3,200 or $320 this week. If that doesn't excite you, if that doesn't get your blood going, come on, man. We gotta look at that. I didn't get paid anything when I worked at General Motors on anyone that I worked with there. I didn't get paid anything that anyone I trained there. I didn't get paid a dime for the people that started after me in my department that I was mentoring. I got nothing for that. Here, I get 4% of everyone I personally enroll minimum. That's why you want to be a local leader. You lead your town, you impact your town, you make a difference in your town, but you're also making 4%. And oh, by the way, if you're at the 60% level and they're at the 40, you make 20% more. So that's another big check, $1,600, right? You made $1,920 as I'm making $3,200 helping someone get a client. As the person got 100,000 ecstatic. If I could show you my text right now blowing up from the client who just signed that 100,000. I got like 10 texts from them in the last hour. They're ecstatic. So this is why you want to climb the ladder. The more you move up, the more you earn on your own clients and the more you earn on your agency. If you don't see the value yet of your 4%, and your override spreads, it's time you go watch the comp plan video again. Agency expansion, here you go. So here's the 8 steps. It's on our document. I'm going to blaze through these. You've already seen these. They're in the email journey, but I'm just going to give a refresher in case you're brand new and haven't gone through the journey yet. Choose a focus market, make it yours, own it, take responsibility for it. Build a local agency, 2 to 7 brokers locally certified. Find those ready to serve. They don't need to be experts. They just need to be willing. Train and activate them. But don't wait for them to join for you to start talking to clients yourself. Set up team communication. It doesn't do any good if you're not texting each other, Zooming each other, right? And discuss your weekly Canvas schedule. Discuss what you're going to do in town, who's networking where. This is how you monopolize your marketplace. To not do it means you allow a different DAC broker to come in and monopolize your marketplace. You will or they will. Someone will. Income game plans with each broker. Everyone you recruit personally, you do a game plan with them. It's right in our game plan team documents. Set a realistic conversation to application goal and talk to them about being an educator, not a salesperson. Educator, not a salesperson. Canvas the area and lead by an example yourself. Keep going until you get NMO. And 80%. I'm at the 80% level. It's pretty darn cool. I get a client, I make 80% of the bonus revenue instead of 40 or 50 or 60. And if I recruit a new broker, I get a 40% override instead of 40. That's why I don't mind. I don't get a salary. I'm okay with that because I earn a lot more in the DAC pay plan, the same pay plan you have, the same one you could take advantage of. It started with just me. I didn't have a team. I didn't have an organization. Well, David, you have everyone in your team. Yeah, I built everyone that's in our team. I recruited the person who recruited the person who brought in the 5,000 today. I recruited the person who brought in 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 the person, right? Or I partnered with that group who brought in the person. Or I partnered with that group who brought in the person. You get to do the same thing. Isn't that cool? But you get to just focus on that. You don't have to worry about corporate. That is awesome. Be a local leader and make it explode. Network in your local business community, your chambers, your BNI groups, your bank managers, get to know them all, invite people to events and go to events and keep replenishing your team because your team will not all produce. Won't all produce. If you have you and 3 who are getting after it each week, part-time, talking to clients every day, networking every day, meeting with bank managers every day, getting to know what different businesses on it, it's fun. If you're doing that every single day, you can take some weekends off or not. It's up to you. It's not like you're working 10-hour days. You work a couple hours a day, networking, a half-hour a day, talk to 4 businesses today. How long does that take you really? I'm doing it part-time right now, and it's multiplying massively in just 2 months. Duplicate into nearby towns. And here again, your 8 steps, download them if you haven't already. Lead by example, act out the 8 steps and review the email journeys that you got. Review them, print them out, and memorize them, right? Make sure you know them. So That's what review. But here's next. Here's what we haven't talked about yet. Local leader model, owning a market, building a moat. Number one, banks. I will tell you, I think the number's five. I know I said five. It may actually be six or seven businesses were referred to me in the last 8 days from banks. And one referred me a client yesterday. I haven't even met the bank yet. I only talked to them over the telephone and sent them the brochure. And an hour later, we scheduled a meeting to meet at Starbucks tomorrow. Hope it wasn't today. Yeah, it's tomorrow. We're meeting tomorrow at Starbucks in Milford, Michigan. And we set up the meeting. And then an hour later, I got a call from a client that they referred. Is that not cool? We hadn't even met yet. But you know what? He's seen me at the chamber meetings. He sees me around. He knows I'm local. He knows I care. I'm not just a telemarketer. Telemarketers, telemarketers, get out there and be local in your town. You'll have a moat and no one can touch it. So get to know them. Collateral, most businesses don't have it. They get it. Bank managers get it. You educate them, they get it. But if you go in there with commission breath, they won't refer you a soul. But if they know you care, watch what happens. A realistic local leader, here's the plan. You plus two committed partners can lead a market. That's it. You and two. You and two. Now, each targets one funding per month to start. Y'all want to get one funding a month per start. How do you do that? You educate a lot of businesses, and then you grow that to two fundings a month, right? And all that comes just by growing the awareness. Trust precedes volume always. They'll see your trust. They'll see you around. They'll believe it. It's like planting seeds in a garden. They grow. What does getting after it actually mean? Number one, warm market outreach every week. Every week, every business owner you need to be reaching out to them weekly. David, I'm not doing it. Okay, you're not a local leader. You are just involved. It's okay to be involved, but are you involved or are you engaged? Engaged is someone who says, I'm going to own this market. Local business education conversations every week. Every week you're educating a business. You're reaching out, hey, I just want to make sure you understand our funding so you can see how we're helping businesses in the community. I just want you to see what we're doing, why I joined this business so that you can see how I want to help businesses in our community. It's all focused on serving. That's what you do. Multiple meaningful conversations every week, consistent recruiting conversations. How often? Every week. David, I don't want to do all that. No problem. You're not a local leader. You are just a peddler. You're in it. It's okay. It's okay to pedal slow. And I don't mean peddler like salesman. I mean, you're just pedaling. You're not grinding. You're just kind of pedaling. It's okay to mention it once in a while. But if you really want to have a moat, someone's going to come to your town with a moat. 3 traps to avoid. I talk to a lot of people who want to be local leaders. This is what they tell me. Here they are. Trap 1, activity without ownership. Trap 2, waiting to feel ready. And trap 3, delaying leadership responsibility. Let's go through them. Trap 1, activity without ownership. What is that? That's when somebody is busy, but they are not anchored, meaning they haven't said, this town's my responsibility. Milford, Michigan is my responsibility. So is Highland. It's my responsibility. Now, you may live in Milford. You may want to build Milford. You get to. And together, it's our responsibility. But to me, that's my responsibility to make sure every business in this town knows who DAC is and knows about our funding and how we can help them. It's my responsibility. I'm anchored. You send an occasional message. You have a few conversations here and there. You maybe even fund a deal or two, but you never decide that this is my market and I'm responsible for it. If you haven't decided this is my market and I'm responsible for it, you fall into the first trap, activity without ownership. There's no defined town. There's no defined list of businesses. There's no rhythm that you're following. There's no system you're following up on as far as, okay, here's the people I reached out to last week. Here's who I have to reach out to today. So activity happens, but nothing really compounds. You don't plant a flag. Activity without ownership feels productive, but it never creates momentum. Ownership is when you decide. Decide comes from a Greek word that meant decidere, I think it's pronounced, to cut away. Decide is actually to cut away all other options and have just this option. So when you decide, this is my market, I'm focused here. I'm not focused on Seattle. I may get a client in Seattle because I stumble onto someone, but I am focused on my town. I'm going to make sure everyone in my town tomorrow, who in my town haven't I met? What bank haven't I talked to? This is what we're doing. Part-time. I'm only doing it part-time, but it's fun. Ownership changes behavior. You stop cherry picking. You stop waiting for perfect leads. Where's the leads? How do you buy leads? You don't. You own your local market. You be neighborly and you'll kick butt. Buy leads, you'll lose money. We've seen thousands of people come through this program buying leads. Well, not buying leads, but thousands come in. And most all say, if I had good leads, if I had good leads, I tell you, David, if you had a lead program, I tell you. So you know what? I've spent over $150,000 on ad lead programs, all these things over the last 10 years, trying to find one that could work. But you know what works? Your local market domination costs you nothing. It's be a good neighbor. That's it. You start tracking, following up, and stewarding. That's what ownership behavior looks like. Why it matters. Without ownership, guess what? Does not accumulate. It does when you do it this way. Why did that bank manager refer me before I've even met him? Because he's seen me at 3 chamber meetings in the last month. And I've said, hi, hi, hi. That's why. He knows I'm real. He knows I'm local, and he's heard wind by talking to other banks. They all know each other. They know that David's for real. They know that I'll even refer someone to them if they are eligible for bank funding instead of taking them and cherry picking and going, I'm going to make a big commission. Trust doesn't accumulate if you don't build local. Referrals don't snowball if you don't build local. Banks don't recognize you if you don't build local. Chambers don't remember if you don't build local. Businesses don't call you first if you don't build local. You're just another name, another text, another phone call, another email. You can win that way, but you got to talk to 20 or 30 times as many people. Or you just build local. Waiting to feel ready is trap number 2. What that does look like. This trap sounds responsible. I'm waiting until I'm ready, but it's actually fear of producing, fear of moving forward, right? You say, I want to learn more first. I need to watch the training again. I don't feel confident explaining funding yet. What if they ask questions I can't answer? So you delay, right? It's the most common trap there is. Readiness doesn't come before conversations. It never has. Get yourself certified and go. And when you don't know, say, I don't know. I'll find out for you. Confidence is built in the field, not in the LMS. You'll get knowledge in the LMS, but confidence only occurs after courage, after you start, after you move. David, I don't have that. Well, you need to get that. Oh, I don't have that, David. Then tag team with someone else. Go out with another buddy and watch them do it and learn through their experience. Or I'm asking you to step out of that zone of comfort and go. And it's okay to say, I don't know. In fact, you need to say, I don't know a lot. That's a good thing. That means you're growing a lot. If you're not saying, I don't know, or feeling, I don't know, then you're not growing. You're still in the lab learning, still in the lab learning, still in the lab learning. Let's not do that. We're going to stop that, right? We're going to step out of that. Trap's dangerous because markets don't wait. While someone's getting ready, another broker's becoming known in town. Another relationship is forming. Another educator is showing up consistently. And once trust forms, you're not breaking it. Business owners that I'm working with, you're not going to come in and get them to work with you. You won't. Business owners you're working with, I can't come in and get them to work with me. They've built trust in you, right? But if you don't do that, you just happen to be in a city and I come to that city or someone else comes to that city from DAC and they do all this stuff. This isn't hard work. This is fun work. This is just having conversations and educating, and hearing stories about businesses and having some fun brainstorming with them. Learn about their business. Have some fun getting to know their business a little bit more. It's fascinating to hear what people are doing. And once trust forms, you can't displace it. The market doesn't reward readiness. It rewards presence. Trustworthy presence. That's it. It's okay. There's someone in the networking group that I'm in. They're brand new to selling health insurance. Fairly new anyway, not brand new. Fairly new. And they don't know that I've marketed healthcare. So I understand health sharing. I understand insurance. I understand a lot of those things pretty good. Not like they do. And I'm watching them learn how to fly. And it's awesome because they show up every time and they have presence and they share. And you know what? I moved my vision over to them and I gave her a chance to win over my healthcare for my family, but she couldn't beat our health share pricing. So I stayed with our health share, but I gave her our vision, right? Because she could beat the vision we had. And I want to support her business because she's showing up, not because she's an expert, because she's showing up. Are you showing up? Show up. Market doesn't reward readiness. It rewards presence. We all want to support someone who's getting after it. And then number 3, delaying leadership responsibility, what it looks like. This trap shows when someone wants the benefits of leadership without the weight of it. I want the income of it, not the weight. I want the overrides. I don't want the weight. And I don't mean wait like time. I mean, I don't want to have to work with new brokers. I don't want to have to deal with brokers who say they're going to do something and don't do it. I don't want to have to work with clients who aren't going to get approved. I don't want to go to chamber meetings. I don't want to go to BNI meetings. I don't want to go to a coffee house and meet someone. I don't want to do that at all. Okay, well, then you don't want to be a leader. It's okay. You want to be a private agent, as Ellen talked about. You can be a private agent, but you won't make as much and you won't impact as much. We're here, you're on this local leader. This is a different group, right? You said you want to be a local leader. Uh, once I have more funding deals, then I'll lead. Once I'm more confident, I'll recruit. Once I know what I'm doing, I'll help others. I've heard that stuff for 30 years, literally 30 years. And the ones who make it never say those things. They don't even think those things. And like I said, if I waited, if I fell in this trap, DAC would have closed because we had about 15 fundings before I got my first one. What if you have 15 fundings waiting in your team on brokers you enroll, but you're like, I'm not enrolling any brokers till I prove this works? We've already proved it with thousands of businesses funded just this year, tens of thousands since we started. What do you need to prove? Maybe you haven't proved yet that you can talk to enough businesses and be trustworthy enough to get a client, but that'll happen in time. I was not effective enough of getting our first 15 clients. I just happened to be the guy with the idea who recruited a few brokers, and I believed in it enough because I was that business. So I told them what I believed, and they believed what I believed, and we shared what we believed with a few more people and a few more and a few more. And guess what? We got a bunch of fundings and it's continued to grow since, right? So don't wait. Don't fall in this trap. Kick the trap in the teeth. Leadership doesn't begin with when everything is figured out. Leadership begins the moment others are watching you move. Is anyone watching you move right now, or are they watching you sit? Right? Is your family watching you move or sit? You join DAC. Are they saying he's being a good example of a man in business? She's being a good example of a woman in business. She's actually attempting to succeed. She's not just educating, she's actually attempting to succeed. And I know some of you going, Dave, I love being a part of the company and I don't have any intention of being a big local leader. That's no problem. This is a voluntary business. But if you're saying I want to make it, then accountability. We reached out to my brother-in-law today. I said, listen, I don't know about you, but I've decided I'm getting in shape. And you inspired me 5 years ago with a program, and we both followed it. We both lost a bunch of weight quick. We got in the best shape of our lives, and we both kind of like grown on and, put it back. I said, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go. And I don't know if you want to buddy up and do it, but he's like, dude, I started 2 months ago. I started in November. I'm already down 25 pounds. But yeah, you want to buddy up? Let's send our ways in each Monday and Friday, and let's commit to what we're going to do. And let's tell each other what we're doing. Let's buddy up. Right. Well, last week I wasn't ready. This week I'm ready. You may say, I'm ready to be a local leader now. I get it. I've already known all this stuff. I'm just not doing it. Maybe it's time you buddy up and do it. Right. Well, leadership by example means here going first, serving clients. Being consistent in your activity, setting tone and pace, modeling service and patience, encouraging your meetups locally. Why delaying leadership hurts the system? And I've got 3 more minutes to wrap this up, and then we're going to go to questions. When leaders don't step up, markets stay fragmented, new brokers drift, culture weakens, duplication stalls, and leadership isn't about authority. It's about responsibility. Questions that matter. Are you willing to talk to people every week? Are you willing to educate without pitching? That's the clients and the brokers. Are you willing to lead locally and grow patiently? If yes, this model works. If not, this doesn't work. So if you can answer yes to those, which is really easy to do, it's just easier not to, you can win. 30-day local market sprint, week 1, map out and know every business. Hopefully you've already been doing this. We've been sending an email journey. You've been reading it. We've already said to do this, but for anyone who's brand new, map out your local market, the one, call it an anchor. This is where I'm going to own this market. Educate and be visible. Follow up, systematize, and be remembered by people. How? Be interested in their business. Don't just be interested in pitching them on what you've got. Get to know them. Learn how you can refer them. Find out what's remarkable about their business so you can refer them to other people, their business, that is. Right? Identify leaders and reflect with them. That means their goals, their plans, discuss, right? Then expand the map. So the map starts small, but then you expand the map. Final thoughts. Local leadership is stewardship. Trust compounds before income does. Everyone should write that down. Put that on your mirror. Trust compounds. I was talking to Marlo today. We were talking about different situations. And I said, one thing I can say for certain is it doesn't matter if someone says the exact same thing as me. It doesn't matter if someone believes the same thing as me. If they're not really focused on the client will sniff it out. The client will find it out, and the client will not apply. They won't tell them this, but they'll say, I like your idea of funding. I'm just not going to use you. They won't tell you that. But as soon as they trust you, they'll go, I want to help that person. I want to get my funding through that person because they're going for it and they're trustworthy. They care about my business. I care about theirs. The moat is built one conversation at a time. You don't just jump in the castle. You build the moat, own your market, and let the rest follow. Final thoughts. Am I educating local businesses? Am I educating local banks? Am I building an agency team? Am I encouraged by agency team? Oh, am I encouraging my agency team? Sorry about that. I got a typo there. Is my team active or do I need a new roster? And will I fix it if I don't have yeses in all these? Will I fix it? That's how simple this is. I'm going to go to your questions right on time. But before I do, I want to give you a little summary. We're going to do this regularly, and each time we're going to go into a little more stuff. Right now, we're still laying the groundwork. But I just want to tell you a story. I started in October. I've been a chamber member for 10 years. I've not been actively going because I've been focused on expanding corporate, scaling different things, not leading my local market. And I decided in October, that's it. I'm leading my local market. I'm gonna serve this community like no one's ever served a community before. I'm gonna refer business like no one's. Everything I teach, I'm gonna start doing. And I'm gonna do it part time. I'm not gonna do it full time. I can. I got a company to run too. You might have a job, but you can do this part time. You can. Chambers are smart. They set up their meetings to meet before. I'm meeting tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And every Wednesday I've met at 7 a.m. since I joined in October. And I'll go there again tomorrow and I get referrals from them now every week. And it's been a few months of establishing trust. And I've switched my health insurance or part of it. I switched my auto insurance. I switched my we got our trees trimmed by someone in our network. I'm an active promoter of their services, right? And so they know I'm there to serve them. And I tell them that I'm here to serve the community. We teach our brokers to do this nationwide, and I want to do it right here. It's important that every business owner in this town knows about us, that every bank knows about us. That's my passion, is that you all know about us and know what we've got. So if and when, and if you ever need to talk about funding, you call me and we'll walk through and we'll find out if we're the right fit, if timing's right, or if a bank's right. I don't know the right fit for you. It might be a credit card. I don't know, but let's talk and we'll see if we can help you. And if you know any other businesses, I've got a passion to help them get the funding they need. Send them my way. Something that simple. You do that every week, every week, every week, every week. And I don't miss a chamber meeting now. I've got one tomorrow night. I've got one tomorrow morning. I had 4 last week. And you know what? That's all I'm doing. I've not gone into businesses yet. I've not gone out and start going out. I'm emailing and I'm texting and I'm calling some businesses, but I've not gone into any, but I'm only doing local. I'm only supporting local right now. That's it. Only supporting local. All the construction memos that I sent out were all local. All the gyms local. Didn't get a gym client. Not even one applied. Had a couple I said they're interested. They didn't move. That's all right for now. Keep following up. It's not a one and done. It's not a, okay, I'm done with them. It's a no, we're building a relationship. The time will come when they need funding, and the time will come when they say, "Hey, that dude Dave, he's been there. He's actually referred some people to me. He's talked to me. He's actually interested in my business." That will develop itself. It's that easy. Well, some of you used to say, but David, I don't want to do that. Okay, then go do something. There's no reason to be on this plan anymore because you're only going to hear what you're doing is less than as good as this. And now you may still do it more. So yeah, if you're going to say, hey, I'm willing to call 400 people a day, go for it. Get 30 people on the phone, call 400 of them, do it. If you want to do that, do it. Follow the rules and do it right. And if you got the temperament for that, you rock and roll. But if you don't, or if you're like me and say, I just want to do this part-time in my local town, and I'm going to make sure every business, I'm telling you what I'm doing is working and it's producing fruit, and I'm getting apps and I'm getting referrals, and the relationships are growing just in a couple months of part-time work. So we're not just teaching, I'm leading it by example. And so are you, some of you. So do this by example. That's all we got to do, and you win. If you can just, Morgan said it best on one of the calls we did a while back. Tyler's and Sharon we were on a corporate call, and I said, "What do you think?" I was asking, "What do you think we got to say to people who don't like sales?" And she says, "Well, you know what, Dad? I don't like selling." I don't know if you guys know it. Morgan's my daughter. I don't like selling, Dad, but I like being a good neighbor. And I like helping people just because it's the neighborly thing to do. Bingo. Bingo. That's all it is. If you can be a good neighbor, you're going to make great commissions. If you can be a good neighbor, you're going to have a great team of brokers. No, it's okay to be hungry. It's okay to be driven. It's okay to be all those things. Just don't let that get in the way of how you treat business owners because they can sniff it out. All right. That is our night. We're going to do this again. I'll introduce everyone. I'll be emailing everyone when we're going to, but right now we're going to go to your questions. If there's anything that was unclear in this, if there's anything you want to, okay, Dave, I really want to, but I'm a little confused about this. Or I'm a little confused. That's what I really want. I don't want, hey, how do I find out my BR? No, this is how do you lead a local market? That's what we're talking about today. Where do I get my status updates? In your email. Go back and get certified. Go back and watch your certification. Watch it again and again and again and again and again and again. It answers most every question. How do I get my Brotherly card? It's in the certification. What do I do if I don't get it? It's in the certification. What's my BR? Why is my BR? When do I get told my BR? Why is my BR lower than what I thought it would be? It's all in the certification. 90% of our questions are answered in the certification and the funding training. Probably 95% are answered in the certification and the funding training. So that's not what I'm here to talk about tonight. I'm here to talk to people who've said, I want to be a local leader, questions about local leadership, about any confusion you have about what you're supposed to do with a new broker, what you're supposed to do with a client to lead your local market. Not how do I get leads on the telemarketers? We're not talking about that. We're talking about your local circle, the moat in your town. If you're not focused on your town, don't ask a question. Save that to Friday on the broker update. We'll talk about any question you want there. But this call is for people who are in the local leader system, who are reading the local leader journey emails. And if you're not in that yet, you're like, what are you talking about? DACleader.com, DACleader.com. Sign up, subscribe, and you'll get for 10 days, you'll get our system emailed out. Everything I just talked about is in that system. We just are broadening it a little bit more. We're talking about the 3 traps. All right, let's go to your questions first. Anyone have any questions for us?
Carmen, you can unmute.
Oh, yes, I live in a little dinky town. There's like 3,000, but the closest one near me is 6 miles away, Thurmont. And I already talked to Pam, the manager at the bank here. Yep. And we have another PNC at the other 6 miles away. And I want to know, since we only have one bank, should I go over? Is it okay to go to the other one too, or wait till I get everybody here? Because I've already talked to everybody, but I'm going to keep talking to them.
You bet. Expand the map. Expand the map. Expand the map. So you make the map as big as you can target in your first 30 days. But if you've already talked to everyone and you're already building a relationship, expand it. You bet. Expand the map.
All right.
Good job, Carmen.
Thank you.
You bet.
Dominique, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening. Great training.
Thank you.
Simple question, or I should maybe say a two question, but I really like the idea of approaching the banks. And so when you go in, do you basically, is there a particular person within the bank that you would talk to, or whomever will listen to you? How do you approach that?
Yeah, you'd want to start with the bank manager, even though they're not usually the business funding, they're in the branch. But one bank was brought to me by someone in the mortgage business. Another bank was brought to me at the chamber. They have someone who just shows up and talks about their bank. I educated them on it. They go, you really need to meet our lending team. Yes. Another one was walking in and just talking to the branch manager. Interestingly enough, the only bank that I've not been able to meet with is the bank where I bank.
Right.
All the other banks in town, I saw Kevin do a thumbs down. You're right, Kevin. I reached out to him again last week and I said, I really like to know who I should be speaking to. I really like to support your clients. So can you please reply? And if they don't reply, I am moving over $250,000 next week. Done.
Right.
To another branch who is referring people. Okay. Because I got commission breath. I sense commission breath. If I'm only as good as my savings account, then I'm out. If you don't even want to care about your clients that I want to help and you don't want to hear me out, then I'm gone. Anyway,
Thank you.
and by the way, your clients feel the same way about you. Oh, you're only in here to get me funding so you can make a commission. You don't care about my soup. You don't care about my my barber shop. You're not going to refer anyone here. You're not going to tell anyone about it. You don't really care about. You just want to get a commission on me. I'm out. That's how they feel too. Okay, who else we got? Someone else has got their hand up.
Yep. We got Joanne. You can unmute yourself.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Dave.
Hi.
I appreciate all the training that you do. I just love your energy. I just love how you are so personable and that you want us to succeed. I really, truly appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
I have been on different platforms. I've been on LinkedIn, I've been on Facebook, and I've been on alignable.com.
Yep.
And one of the young ladies reached out to me regarding one of her clients. My question is, now, mind you, this young lady saw me on Alignable. She lives in Arizona. She had a client that needs to get funding for $150,000. Banks wouldn't do it. He has a 700 plus credit, and he makes over 15,000 a month. In pay. My question is, she asked me a peculiar question, and I told her that I would get back to her on it. He needs the 150,000 to get supplies from China.
Yep.
So does that
lessen
his chances of
No. Whatever he's doing with the money doesn't matter. I mean, obviously if he's doing something illegal or going to casino, but the real issue comes down to 150,000, keeping in mind from our certification requirements, you must be doing 150,000 a month in sales.
Okay.
It sounds like you said he's doing 15. Bank funding, like a mortgage, he might be able to get a mortgage for his home for 150,000, put his home up, but he's not going to get 150,000 in non-collateralized funding anywhere in the world. The only way he can get more than 1 times or 2 times his monthly revenue is putting up property with the bank conventional loan, and the property's got to be worth about 175 if he wants 150. So if his bank won't help him, he can't get it. What he can do is get about 15,000 if he's doing 15,000 a month. And that probably won't get him what he needs. So I had a client yesterday, same thing. One of the clients, the bank referred me. They were doing $20,000 through an apartment complex, 10,000 from a nail salon, and she wanted 100,000. I said, you can't get 100,000. The bank turned you down. That's the only place you'll get 100,000 if you're not doing 100,000 a month in sales. Right. So, or at least 70 or 80,000 a month in sales. So keeping in mind the rule of thumb, you can't get what you're not producing per month in sales. It's real simple. And if you start with that, they'll love you for it. You shoot right to I told this gal last night, I'm going to get right to the point. You can get at most 15 grand from that real estate, 18 grand a month. Then salon, you're not going to get anything for that 10 grand. Maybe you'll get it 3,000 a month. You're not going to get a whole lot. 3,000 one time. It's not going to get you near your 100,000. She said, but I got perfect credit. Well, then maybe go get a friend to give you a loan or try to get a personal loan. You don't have what it takes to get 100,000 through us. And I said it nicely and all that. And he doesn't either.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, but it's good that you're talking to people. Stay local though. Go local. Hopefully you've heard.
Yep.
Yes.
I've been going to meetings, town hall meetings. I have a chamber meeting to go to next week and something else next week to go to.
Good job. Way to go. Way to go. Keep staying local and keep serving local, Joanne. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Who else we got? We got another couple minutes.
Yep. It looks like we have a different Joanne asking a question. Joanne R., you can unmute yourself.
McBroom. Yeah. How are you doing, Joanne?
All right.
Yeah.
So I have a question that was kind of touched on in the huddle today, but I would like to hear your take on it. So I just recently got my amazing local agent, Anne, and she and I both are pretty well networked because we've had small businesses in the area for a while. And so our question that we've kind of been discussing between us is, how do we make sure we stay out of each other's lane? Like businesses that she's already working with or businesses that I'm already working with. One thing that we talked about was doing like a shared Google document where we can list the businesses we're working with. So I know to kind of like, okay, Anne's already working with them, or she can be like, Joan's already working with them. Another idea that was brought up in Huddle is like when you go out visiting businesses to go together and alternate who goes in at the businesses. So anyway, I just like to hear your ideas on that.
Yeah, I think all those are good ideas. It really comes down to the makeup of the team. Because let's say you're wanting to be a part of the chamber and she's not. Well, then everyone in the chamber obviously is going to meet through you. Maybe your chamber allows 2 people for one membership, and you guys, let's split it. Let's pay for one membership. We can have two members, and we'll tag team, and we'll systematize when you're going to be there, when I'm going to be there, when you're going to be there, when I'm going to be there, and tag team go out together. There's nothing, I'm telling you, there's nothing better than tag team marketing, going out talking 2 by 2. Jesus taught it, whether you believe it or not. His group is still growing, and it's 2 by 2. It was started, and there's a reason for that. It's easy to get slowed down when you're alone. You're emboldened. 2 people coming together with the same goals, believing the same thing. Man, look out. And so when you get together to canvas, if you get together at a Starbucks or local coffee shop, not a Starbucks, get together at a local coffee shop, have a meeting, and then share what you believe. And go practice on the owner where you're having a coffee, and have one of them share what you believe. We're in town to make sure all these businesses know, and we just want you to know we love your coffee. You don't mind if we meet here every week, do you? Right? We might even bring in some other people, and you don't mind if we do that every week and treat you like my little office, do you? Not at all. Just buy a coffee. Great. Yeah, we want to help businesses and blah, blah, blah. They're going to love you for it. So then the answer is 2 by 2, alternate. But sometimes you're just going to have a vibe where you and I will walk in together, and you're just vibing with the people more than me, even if it's my turn. And you're vibing. It's obvious the relationship is there. It's yours. And then other times it's mine. Or you say, okay, listen, for the next week, this side of the block is yours to network, and this side's mine. And let's take this all this week. We divide the map, and you're going to take them together. And then at the end of the week, we'll find out where our relationships are real strong. And if there's somewhere you want me to try, and we hand them over to me, and I'll try, and we'll swap. And then you just go map by map. So it's really getting creative. That's where that weekly meeting and the 8 steps is all about, getting together and vibing a little bit and deciding. But I can tell you, when I say those first 15 clients there's one buddy of mine who we went out, tag teaming together. And I said, you can have every client, because I had personally enrolled them. I'm like, I'm learning right now. Right. I'm learning. So you can have every one, because you're learning, I'm learning. And so let's go do it together. If you're willing to do it together, I'll give you every client we get for the first week. And we did. And we did. Wow. So do it. It's really up to you how you want to do it. But a Google Sheet is a brilliant idea, and you assign yourself to it, especially when you're all on one team. It's brilliant. Because eventually someone's going to come in. Go ahead.
You mentioning going out 2 by 2 kind of reminds me of another verse that says, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, the truth is established. Right. So never hurts to have more than one person preaching the same message.
Well, and because you have different personalities too, and different takes, everyone's hearing things a little differently. And it's like, hey, and by the way, you throw something in, and it's brilliant. Good stuff.
All right.
Way to throw some scripture out there. Bang. Good one. Yes. All right. Who else we got here today's got to see a couple more hands up.
Yep. And you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay. Thank you. I'm the new one. I'm under Joan.
All right, Ann.
I'm printing out some bank flyers.
Yeah.
What website would I use? The Bank Breezy or my personal website?
You use your personal website either way, your replicated website. So because you'd want them to refer people to your site and to
Okay.
your phone number. So yeah, you could choose whether you want to use the David Allen Capital or the Bank Breezy. That's really up to you to choose. I won't tell you what I use because it depends on where I'm going, but definitely, you choose and make sure your information's in there. And I'm sure Joan will share that with you too, Ann.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank
We've
you.
got 10 more minutes until we're done, but we got a couple more. We got, go ahead, Tyler. I don't have my glasses on.
Yep. Forgive me if I pronounce it wrong, but Natifa, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, Natafia. I understand. It happens
Natafia, very
all the
pretty
time.
name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I am that person that keeps getting ready to get ready. And then after I get ready to get ready, I find so many other things to do. And then the day goes by, and then I'm like, oh, come on, when are you going out? So the question is anybody in the New York area? Because I feel like if I do have, if there's no one in the area, I definitely still have to do it myself. But if I have someone to team up with, I feel like I would feel like, okay, you know what? I have a more of accountability partner, and when you have accountability partner, it's different. Because like I said, you have the two. It's like, come on, let's do this. Let's do this. How we gonna do it? Let's go.
Well, Natafia, first of all, thanks for owning it. And that's the first part. My wife does a event called Reveal to Heal, and you're like, you can't heal something until you first reveal it. And so you spoke it out, right? Where you're at. So I don't know where in New York you are, but I'd go to Facebook. New York's pretty big, right? So I would just put in
I'm
Facebook.
close to Bronx, New York, but I do Hudson Valley because I'm moving upstate an hour and a half away from the Bronx. So I want to do that. I want to do from Hudson Valley to the Bronx.
There you go. So I would go to the Facebook place and market there. But I will say this: when I started DAC, I was in the same position as you, and there was no one in my town, so I recruited someone. So even if someone doesn't say, "Yeah, we'll do it together," Natafia, recruit someone, and they will, and you'll do it with them, and together
well,
you
that's
can.
A question. How do I recruit? I was wondering because I thought you had something about that before. I remember a while back you did a class, but I was thinking like, how can I?
Yeah, absolutely. As a broker, you're able to build a team. You're able to build your own agency.
I'm ready to do that. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Let's go. Own New York. And so that's part of being a local leader. And you've got a page, your Partner With Us page, it's called. And on the bottom of your website, in the footer, you'll see Become a Broker. And if you click on that, you'll see a 4-minute video, and there's another one, a 24-minute video. I always use the 24-minute partner overview one. And in your welcome letter, you've got a link to refer people to join, to be a broker. But the easiest thing to do is go watch the certification again, because we've got all the links in the certification. And also, after you're certified, then you get to go through the agency expansion training, which we have a recruiting training, how to build a team. Yeah. So you definitely want to do that.
Again.
All right. Thank you. Glad to have you, Natafia. Again, yeah. Again, no problem. It's all right. Matthew DeHame, how you doing, Matthew?
I'm ready to take us home, man. Let me tell you, I just gotta delete that message. Okay, here we go. I just cannot tell you, David. I see you rapid fire gold. I would say to myself and to the group, rapid fire gold. One thing, shift your focus, and what you're doing is running a big organization, and you decided to shift your focus on this one thing. You're taking your talent, your ability, or your passion, more importantly, over to this thing, and you're focusing, lasering, right? Aiming small to miss big, aiming small.
Aiming small to expand big. Yep.
There, you're like your brother, right? With the archery.
Yeah. Aim small, miss small.
Right. There you go. Aim small, miss small. And so what you've done by default is just said, what if I just focus a little time over here? How hard can it be? Well, what you're doing, maybe not taking for granted, but the fact that your core, your anchor is your belief in what it is you're doing. And you can take that anywhere you go. That's your passion. You're shifting your passion over to this focus, and it's going to produce results invariably because you have it. And so therein lies the rub, where everything is explained. You can follow all the machinations and all the listening, but what is your belief? So it always comes down to it. I reinforced it. I visited New Jersey. Guys, you guys, there's 100-something people on here. I was just in the United States. I am in South America right now. I live here. I visited for 7 days. And in that period of time, I just reorientated myself and, as you said, shifted my focus back on something that I could do in person. I'm not doing it in person. So you just got to just focus on this is about obviously, your future. You're here for a purpose. You want to make money. You want to build a team. I've earned, as David knows, you're going to earn a lot more by being an example and building a team. So there's there's a cause and effect and equilibrium here. So the phenomenally ingenious, sorry, I'm not kissing your butt, but I love this March Madness contest because all it does is it's just incentivizing what you're supposed to do anyway. It's going to begat which begats, and it's going to get that little dynamo going. All you got to do is initiate with your belief, anchor in those things, focus on this. Today, David, you were on the huddle call. Somebody mentioned it, and it was phenomenal. Of course, everybody's got to be on the huddle call. Anybody on this call better be on the huddle calls every morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, DHC Zoom, same place, and get plugged in because you're part of something. And so when you can identify, you're being entertained. You are a participant. So raise your hand, be focused, engage, make notes if you're not caught raising your hand, and make sure that that you're here. You're going to fulfill it. You're going to hit your goals. Your objectives are critically important. But this contest, guys, plug into the thing. It's all right there. Anybody can win this thing. I am so excited about it. I've been here for 8 years. And each time, you should see the huddle call today. I was like a little kid. David, I woke up at 4:15 a.m. Eastern Time today. It should be later because I just changed. I'm all screwed up with my time. I've been up since 4:15 a.m. I didn't sleep. I did nothing. I'm full of juice, man. Adrenaline. I can't stop. I woke up this morning like, oh, I can't wait to call these people I just met in New Jersey. You got to be kidding me. So you've got to capture that spirit, capture that energy. You have it. All the new brokers coming on. David's like, most of the new brokers, the new fundings are coming from new brokers. How is that possible? Here's why. Because they're just full of enthusiasm. This is great. They don't start doubting. They don't start They don't start looking into, oh, is this wrong or something? No, they're going because they see the value initially. So take the emotional spirit you have and just try to recapture it or funnel it and just like use that, recapture it, whatever you got to do because it's real. It's not, you're not contriving, it's real. You're helping people and the business owners love you for it. If you come across authentic, as David says, be the authentic you. I don't care who you are, bring you. The script doesn't matter. Listen, I don't even know about it. I just started. This is great. Well, we've helped a lot of businesses like yours. Just take a look, and maybe this just doesn't matter. All you need to do is take your passion, study, do the training. You cannot proceed without fundamentals. Fundamentals are key. Lays it all out for everybody here. You better be certified. You wouldn't be on this call if you weren't certified, I guarantee. Well, maybe you're not, but get certified.
All right.
Yeah,
wrap it up, Matthew. We got to go to Harlequin. We're going to run late.
Go. I'm sorry about that, man. Go.
Hey, he's on fire. Yeah, I love it. All right, Harlequin. Thank you, Matthew. Love you, buddy. Appreciate everything.
Matt's
Matthew
always on fire.
By the way, Matt sent me an email earlier. He goes, by the way, who's finishing second in this tournament? Larry Bird. And he sent me a Larry Bird video from when Larry went and said, who's going to finish second in the 3-point contest? Matthew's saying he's going to win it. And then guess what? Matthew said, you won't believe it. Nick came in and said the same thing to me. Yeah, the DeHane boys are getting after it. And hey, I'm not sitting on the bench. Let's go. All right, Harlequin, what do you got for us? You're the last one. Then I gotta wrap us up by 10 o'clock. What do you got?
Okay. Well, first off, I'm excited that I've got a bunch of people from my team on here.
Good.
And they're all in different cities, so that's even better. We got people all over the place.
Amen.
I wanted to give people a tip. Whenever you're going to your networking events, this is a tip that was given to me by someone who specializes in training and networking.
Yep.
And her tip is, you always want to go and try and schedule one-on-one meetings with people to get to know them, get to know their business. But the trick is take your calendar with you to the networking meeting and schedule the meeting then and there. Even if it has to be hey, let's go and put a place marker here and we'll go back to the office and double check and make sure. And that has been a game changer for me because in the last month, I have
brilliant
like 15 different one-on-one appointments.
Brilliant.
Whereas before it was, I'd get 1 or 2 a month. So,
Good tip. And I'm seeing the same thing. All the meetings I'm doing are coming from one-on-ones. Do some one-on-ones, guys. Harlequin's brilliant on it. Thank you so much, Harlequin, for bringing that tip. And let's take us home, everybody. Listen, huddles are every day at 11:30. If you're working, you can't be there, of course. Watch it on recording. If you can be there, try to be there. Try to schedule around it. The first Tuesday of the month, schedule around it. It's a good goal to see how many brand new brokers can I have on the first Tuesday next month. I can compound my group. If I have a few new brokers start this week and they have a few brokers next week, you don't have to just get a bunch of people. The concept is you and two who are doing it. You and two who will do. That's all you need. You and two who will do and look out and then grow with that from there. Then you help them get 2, and then you go to 3, and then you go to 4. And as you continue to do that, you're eventually going to have a very, very strong duplicated team just doing the basics. If you only had to learn how to be neighborly, you already know that. If you already had to learn how to canvas an area, put a map out and go, okay, here's all the construction companies in town. Have I called them? Do they know me? Do they know if someone said, you know, David Rutz from David Allen Capital, would they say yes? Do they know Harlequin? Yes. Do they know Matt? Yes. Do they know Tyler? Yes. If they can answer yes, then great. You're knowing them and stay following up with them. Just do your map. Go through the 8 steps of our local leader and just check the box. That's it. If you got 2 people in your team, what's your communication with those 2? How often are you communicating with them? How often are you mentioning, hey, let's get together and map out the area? How often are you engaged with them, or are you not? They're just on your downline report. So that's the focus. And local is always better. If they're not local, you can only support that they support their local. And hopefully all the people I personally rolled here, I invited them all, right? Told them all to be here today because that's the best way I can support them. If they're not local here, they need to know what to do in their local market, right? So hopefully you're doing the same thing, being an encourager. But I will tell you this, they're watching what you're doing, not what you're saying. So go do it. Go do it. Go do it. All right, guys, we're done for the day. I appreciate you all. If you missed any of this, go back and watch it. And even if you didn't miss it, go back and watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it. This is the beginning of something big for you. It does compound. The rule of 72 in finance says whatever interest rate you make a year, divide that into 72, and that's how long for your money to double. If you've got $10,000 in the bank and you're getting 12% a year, 12 into 72 is 6. In 6 years, that 10,000 will turn into 20. In 6 more years, the 20 will turn into 40. In 6 more years, the 40 will turn into 80. In 6 more years, the 80 will turn into 160. All started with 10. That's how your business is as well. If you just get a couple brokers this week and get 10 more clients who know who you are, and next week a couple more brokers and 10 more clients who know who you are, and then a couple more brokers and 10 more clients who know who you are, and you just grow your business by a couple things a month, but it doubles every month and then doubles every 2 months and then doubles every 4 months. And before long, you've got an exponential explosion happening, and you never know. All of a sudden, you got a group of 100 people join. 200 people join, 5 people join. Each week you got 50 new brokers in your agency, and they're in other states, and they're on this doing local market. There's only 90 something people on here. There's 2,000 on our local leader list. I've made millions in this industry. We're teaching for free. Maybe I need to start charging $12,000 to get those 2,000 people to see they need to be here. Right? And scholarship all of you guys. And maybe then they'd show up, but I can't tell everyone they got to be here. We promoted it. We can't guarantee and require anything. This is a volunteer business, but I can tell you, we will become $1 billion player in the funding space. We will do it by creating moats around local business, local market, not through telemarketing, not through ads, not through Facebook ads. They're all blowing up. Everyone's complaining about Facebook ads in the funding space. They're all wasting money on it. Here we got the competitive advantage. Someone will duplicate us though, so we got to go own it before they do and have a